Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub, Pub Sports Radio. It's Wednesday, October the 26th. Ian Cameron, Dutch, and Wham are with you, ready for a huge Wednesday NBA card. Busy slate as it usually is this day of the week. We got 10 games. We'll break those down. Before that, though, we want to remind everybody about the big Pub Sports Radio poker tournament taking place tonight. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, $25 buy-in. Of course, a great opportunity. Make sure you're aware of that. The tournament password is all capital letters, Pub Sports OCT, as in October. So Pub Sports OCT, Pub Sports Radio, big poker tournament tonight, 9 o'clock.
And I got some plans too tonight, Bobano. So these motherfuckers might have a chance. You know what I'm saying? I won't be there, so you might have a chance.
There you go. One of the favorites, one of the kingpins to take down the prize, isn't participating. So that opens the door, right, for everybody. There it is on the screen, hosted by Bet Online, 9 p.m. Eastern, $25 buy-in, password enter, Pub Sports OCT, promo code Pub Sports, 100% to match up a deposit up to $1,000 for first-time users. So get on that and get involved. Pub Sports Poker Tournament. I will just support it, hope for the best. Poker, not my thing, as everybody knows, but anybody entering that tournament, wish you the best of luck for sure. Hopefully, best of luck for us on this NBA board, which we will start off with Orlando taking on Cleveland. We got the Cavaliers 8.5-point home favorites in this game, 215.5 being the total in this one. The Orlando Magic, pretty rough start to the season for them, 0-4, winless on the campaign, haven't covered a point spread either. Actually, they did against Boston. We'll give them that. They had a home point spread cover against Boston, but on the road, they haven't covered a point spread. 0-3 straight up, 0-3 against the spread for the Magic coming into this game. You got the Cavaliers, who are coming off a nice overtime win against Washington, beating up on Chicago before that as well, 128-96, only lost this year, coming to the Toronto Raptors. You know, in normal circumstances, I would look at this and say, well, you know what? When it comes to the Cleveland Cavaliers, I'd be a little bit concerned with them missing Darius Garland, missing Ricky Rubio, key components of the backcourt. But now they're going up against a team that's got just as much, if not more, backcourt issues, backcourt absences, backcourt injuries when it comes to the Magic, with dealing with no Markelle Fultz, Gary Harris as well out for them, Jalen Suggs. I mean, they are dealing with cluster injuries in the backcourt. So I think whatever concerns and worries you had about Garland and Rubio being out, they're offset by the problems the Magic have right now in their backcourt. I'm actually going to go with a first half full game split here with Cleveland. I think they have a chance to roll this Orlando team. I don't think they're playing very well at all. Certainly on the defensive end of the basketball court, we've seen in the last couple of games, they've given it up to the Knicks and to the Celtics. That's not good. I really don't know if, as much as I think Banchero going to be a player, Wendell Carter, the center, I don't know how they're going to deal with Mobley and Allen in that Cavalier front court tonight. I think that's a mismatch in favor of Cleveland. So we're going to lay the wood here. First half full game split, Cleveland Cavaliers. Dutch, what do you think here? Orlando, Cleveland.
Yeah, man. Salute to the ladies, gents, and D-gents for tuning in. You already know it's all love. It's good to see everyone in the motherfucking chat. Bo Jackson, Harold Williams, Dan motherfucking Kelly in the building. Our guy Preston, motherfucking Preston on the motherfucking back in there. Not on the ones and twos, but he's our guy. He's running shit back there. You know what I mean? My guy. Good to see you, Preston. Shout out to Vic on the ones and twos in the back. I see you, Iceman. LJ from H-Town, DC Sports Bricks, everyone in the chat. If you would at this time, hit the motherfucking like button. Share the video if you would. And, of course, subscribe to Pub Sports Radio if you have not at this time. Star Child in the chat. I see my man, dude was giving you some love. I forgot already who it was, but that was a hell of a call on the Pelicanos, man. I took it on the chin. My friend Luka the Don was not doing Don things last night. Let's just say that. I see too many fucking smiles. That's what I see. Too many smiles, bro. It's playing games.
It's supposed to be a game of competition. Why are we smiling like, hey, it's okay to be getting my ass kicked, right?
Yeah, man. That shit really irks me. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I don't expect to see that from Luka the motherfucking Don. He be usually having a little bit chippy on his shoulder. I didn't like the vibe I seen last night. But on this motherfucking game, I got a nice card tonight. But we're going to start it off only right. And we're going back with this motherfucker.
All right.
There we go. Backwood number one. and it ain't going to be
But I
the only
agree
one.
with you, Bobano. If I had to bet this game, I'd be right where you're at, my man.
Yeah, I like Cleveland here. And a rest advantage. They've been off for 2 days. You get some practice time in. They got a lot of time to get any kinks that they've got out of their system. Orlando, they've actually been traveling, I believe, for every game. Yeah, at Detroit, at Atlanta, back home against Boston, at New York, and now they're on the road again. So they've actually had to travel in between each of their games. So I think even situationally, it's favoring Cleveland tonight as well. What do you think here, Wham Bam?
Yeah, you know what? I got to back with this one too. So I'm not going to say anything other than this game is going to be a pass for me. I do like some props here, but I'm not going to have any action on here. I think a lot of the guys are on the other side of the props I'm thinking. So I'm going to stay away from it.
All right. Yeah.
There we go. We got a pair of backwoods in the first game. How about Atlanta, Detroit? We got the Hawks 7.5-point home favorites here, 229.5 the total. Ian Cameron is separating from the Detroit Pistons for a little bit. They've kind of pissed me off here a couple of these last games. Wasn't impressed with the Indiana game, not impressed with the New York game. Took them again last night like the idiot that I am, and they lose 120-99. I only went 1-1 on the NBA card last night. I had Detroit plus the points, and then I had the over in the Phoenix game. So we won one, we lost one. Well, Detroit was the one I lost, and it wasn't even close. They got absolutely dummied by the Washington Wizards in that game. Now they're on the second night of back-to-back games here. They are back home at the Palace, or not the Palace. I keep saying the Palace. It's Little Caesars Arena, the Pizza Box there in Detroit. But still, I mean, it's a tough spot. You're on a back-to-back coming into this game, and you're playing an Atlanta Hawks team that not only has the rest advantage, 2 days off, but coming off a bad game. Losing 126-109 to the Charlotte Hornets on their home floor at the house in Atlanta. I think that's what was very surprising. Bogdanovich, by the way, has been ruled out once again for the Atlanta Hawks. He's yet to play this season. They were hoping he'd be back tonight from that offseason knee procedure that he had done, but still not quite ready to return for the Atlanta Hawks. It just feels like an Atlanta or pass spot for me. They're rested. They're not going to take Detroit lightly, probably because that was such a horrible game for them against Charlotte. So it's a backwood for me. Roll that backwood.
All right. Yeah.
There we go. It's a backwood for me as well. I actually think the total, it's going up. I get it because when you think of Atlanta, I think Atlanta's going to want to play some defense tonight. I believe they weren't happy giving up over 50%, 126 points to Charlotte. So I don't know if I'd love the over in this game, honestly. Wham, we'll start with you here, Atlanta, Detroit.
Yeah, losing to Charlotte, man, that's kind of bad, bro. So you got to think bounce back there, especially when it's the only team, like you mentioned, Babano. It's off of back-to-back today. So they're going to be some tired legs for the Pistons. Have they been eating Popeyes, though? I don't know. So let's go into Atlanta, though, man. I think that the person that I want to key in on, the guy I want to key in on is DeJounte Murray, bro. I think DeJounte Murray in the props is strong. It looks good. I haven't really made a play there, but I'm thinking full game Atlanta, man. I haven't made that bet yet either, but I was thinking that, I would talk that out with you guys. Starting off with a backwood with a battle, damn. Maybe he's thinking the same way, though. I was thinking, like, maybe they could take advantage here. But on the road, we do know that is one of the scariest spots to be on with Atlanta of recent history, especially after last year. So, maybe this is a testing game, but they should be able to smack up and win by double digits, I think.
Yeah, we will see about that. Now, granted, Detroit has only played one home game this year, and they did win it, and they did cover, but it was against Orlando. You aren't playing Orlando tonight, so let's see how the Pistons fare. I was very high, as you know, on Detroit coming into the year, at least being better than their win total, going over that low win total. And I know the moment I fade them, they're going to cover. So that's why I'm staying off the game. It feels like we should be on Atlanta. I could be on Atlanta, but I ain't going to get involved. What do you think here, Dutch?
Yeah, man. I got Money Murray. Good to see you in here. 2-6 ATS. The Hawks' last 8 meetings against the Pistons. Can't trust Atlanta on the road. And you must have watched the show, and you know a little bit about the NBA because we do not trust motherfucking Atlanta on the road. This should be Atlanta spot, though, after, getting dumped like our boy Wham Bam said to the motherfucking Charlotte Hornets. Come on now. Hey, shout out to our guy Zachary. Hey, yo, D, the motherfucking building. I see you. Razor sharp picks. Let's highlight this motherfucker. He deserves that. Yeah, man. Listen, we got the Gamblers First Glance Miami, Portland under 220.5. I like that look because the Portland Trailblazers are playing some basketball on the defensive end
Playing
as
some
well.
defense finally.
Yeah, on the defense.
Monday.
Top 10. I got top 10 written down here, my friend.
There
So
it
we will get on that. I know Bobano has touched on that defense from the Blazers as well. So yeah, man, I like that look. I like where you're looking at, Razor. It stood out to me a little bit when I looked at it. I don't touch the totals too much, but I like it, my guy. We'll get to that. Thank you for joining us. Everyone in the chat, drop the plays. You know what it is, Vic. Back with this bitch, man.
All right. Yeah.
All right, we got Charlotte and New York now next up. How about those New York Knicks? 7.5 point home favorites at the Garden, 225 the total in this game. Started off the season 2-1, straight up 3-0 though against the number. Knicks covered the point spread in every game, putting money in their backers' pockets in every single game so far this year. Good to see from the Knicks, and even in this moderate to larger home favorite role, which last year was a disaster. I mean, if you were laying points with New York at home last year, you weren't doing good. This year, it's been different. They've had two instances as bigger home favorites, won and covered both times against Detroit and Orlando. Now they're playing a Charlotte team that I think you can throw them in there with Detroit and Orlando, comparable team. They have started the season better than I thought. I will give them that. They're 2-1 start the year, including a stunning win at Atlanta in their last game, 126-109. Also had a win against San Antonio, 129-102, which shocked the hell out of me in that first game. But they also had the loss to the Pelicans in between. Knicks are probably closer to the Pelicans than they are, say, San Antonio. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult here. I mean, the Knicks have got it going right now. I got to give them a lot of credit. They've been really good at the offensive end of the basketball court. Brunson's fit in, 7 assists per game, 17.7 points per game early in the campaign for the New York Knicks. I like that addition. Obviously, we saw what he did with Luka the Don in Dallas last year. Julius Randle, he's averaging almost a double-double per game this year for the Knicks. So you like what they're giving them offensively. And that Tom Thibodeau defense has actually shown up pretty well so far this year as well. They've gotten back to better defensive play to go with an improved offense. So personally, I'm not looking to step in front of the Knicks. I don't know if I want to lay 7, but maybe we can get there with the team total. Over 116.5 for New York. That does interest me. I mean, we're seeing a team in the New York Knicks that are piling up some points that do look a little bit more fluid offensively to begin this season. You know, we saw them put up 115 against Orlando, 130 against Detroit. I think they have the chance to approach the 120 mark here in this game. So the team total, I might get there with that for the New York Knicks over 116.5. Dutch, what do you think here? Knicks hosting the Hornets.
Yeah, man. I like this game an awful lot. Shout out to DC Sports. He's right where I'm at. I see you, my man. Shout out to our guy, Dabby Cab in the building as well. Lucky Power. I see you, my man. Sweaty Butcher. Primetime cut of the play. I'm looking for it, my man. I'm looking for it. My guy, Matt Stoney, dropping looks as well. Good to see you, my man, Matt Stoney. Good to see you. Hoops, I see you, my man. I like this game an awful lot. I do, because it's simply a team that I want to be backing. I believe we're going to see value on the Knicks an awful lot. You know, we said this last game they played. Do you want to lay 7.5 against the Pistons? Well, you could have, and you would have profited. I cut it in half, first half, and I'm going to do the same damn thing. If you want full game with the Knicks, I believe it's good money as well. But when I can see a 4 out there, minus 110, sign me the fuck up, all right? The Charlotte Hornets are an auto fade on damn near. They are a fade team. I want to bet against this team as much as possible. Now they do not have Terry Rozier in the lineup, who is a big piece of what they like to do. Obviously, without missing LaMelo, really, who's going to control the ball now? You know, it's pretty
he's
much
doubtful, so you might as well say he's out.
Yeah, I don't think he's playing. So yeah, he's not playing. So these, you know, it's playground basketball, man. It really is. And the Knicks, man, these boys is deep as fuck. Now they are 2-0 ATS first half at the house so far. And versus the Magic, they kind of played a subpar game, to be quite honest with you. 29% from 3, not very well. 11 to 37. The bench, who's been lights the fuck out, only had 27 points compared to 54 points this bench has given them in games 1 and 2, and still beat the Orlando Magic, who I think is a more talented team than the Charlotte Hornets, by 13 points. So I believe they'll actually play a better game tonight and run these motherfuckers out the door. This should be double digits by halftime. I love the 4 here. I think the Knicks are, you know, when it comes to playoff basketball, we'll pump the brakes a little bit. But when we talk about regular season basketball, I like this team an awful lot to be betting on. They're 10 to 12 deep. I mean, Cam Reddish will fuck around and drop 20 on your ass. Obi Toppin's playing fucking above the rim basketball. I mean, quickly can get catch on, and you know what you're going to get out of Derrick Rose. The boy from fucking Clippers, Hartenstein's coming out there, giving them numbers, playing good board, hitting the boards. I mean, this is a fucking basketball team that Tom Thibodeau's got right here, and they're deep as fuck, and they're going to run it all over these weak-ass Charlotte Hornets. Give me the Knicks -4. Lock that bitch in. Yeah, man.
There you go. Liking the Knicks. First half, full game here with the New York Knicks. What do you think here, Wham? Charlotte, New York.
Yeah, I like what I'm hearing from Dutch with the Knicks. I do think that the Hornets are one of those teams that's pretty much a seller for sure long term. But, man, as far as these first few games that they've been winning, that's been unexpected that my guy Babeno brought, to you guys' attention. It's been Nick Richards. He's been the correlation with those games. Now, he had 20 points and 11 rebounds last game against the Hawks. Then he had 19 points and 10 rebounds against the Spurs. The game that he had like a subpar game was the game against the Pelicans, where they were able, contain them there in the paint. Do we think these guys can contain them in the paint? That's kind of where we're thinking. I kind of do think that, Julius Randle, those guys down there, if Mitchell Robinson is available, they can do that. But like you said, I like Isaiah Hartenstein, man. Like, that guy is one of those guys coming off the bench, doing the right thing. I love that a lot. And I don't know, Billy. That's one of I like that play with Ski and stuff as far as Mitchell Rob, but I looked at his stats, man. It just doesn't look appealing at all as far as any props there. But I kind of am leading the first half with the Knicks. I think that is a good play. So I haven't bet that yet, but I'm right there with you, Dutch, on that.
All right, one of the marquee matchups of this Wednesday night, Brooklyn taking on Milwaukee here. A lot of history with these two teams. Playoff history a couple of years ago. Milwaukee 3.5-point home favorites, 231 the total in this game. You look at head-to-head matchups here between these two teams. I'm looking at just the last couple that we have seen. We've seen 231, 230, 249, 239 in terms of point. I like over the total in this game. Brooklyn has not been able to defend Milwaukee. Brooklyn has not been able to defend Giannis at all. I mean, you look at what Giannis has done in head-to-head games, regular season, the playoff series a couple of years ago. Giannis Antetokounmpo has just destroyed this Brooklyn front court, and he should. No one on this Brooklyn team is capable of keeping him in check. No one. So he should be able to just dominate down in the paint area, and he has absolutely done that here. He is not averaging more points to any other team in the league than the Brooklyn Nets is Giannis. He just destroys this team. He's averaging a career best 24.7 points per game. It's the biggest point per game average of any team in the NBA for Giannis. The Brooklyn Nets averaging 24.7 against them. But we've seen him go off for even bigger games recently against them. He averaged almost 32 points against them in the Eastern Conference semifinals a couple of years ago. And he's already this year averaging over 32 points per game. So when it comes to Giannis, he's not always someone I jump on every game from a prop standpoint, because you're not always going to get the value. You're going to be, usually paying a premium in terms of the number, but we've got a consistently solid matchup advantage that's been there for the longest time. You just know Giannis is going to get his against the Brooklyn Nets. So I know his point prop is 32.5 here, but I like it over. And I don't like many players at over a number like that, 32.5, but he has just done huge damage here against this Brooklyn Nets team, and he probably will do so once again tonight, especially when you factor in the start he's had. I mean, he's averaging right around 32.5, and now he's playing the team he dominates more than any in the NBA. So definitely I think he can get over that number from a prop standpoint in this game. I would actually lean Buck. I like the over more than the side, but I'm not ready to back Brooklyn, even on the road. I prefer to back Brooklyn on the road, but I tried that and certainly lean that way against Memphis, and they lose 134-124. Shoddy defensive effort, 50% from the floor given up to the Memphis Grizzlies in that game. Do we know if Ben Simmons is playing for this basketball team yet? I can't find him with a telescope on the basketball court so far.
He's fouling someone, bro. He's just fouling someone. That's what he's doing.
Yeah. I mean, my gosh, great start. The Ben Simmons return train is off to just a rocking start
Oh
right
man.
now for the Brooklyn Nets. Just get the Most Improved Player of the Year award out right now for him. I'm being facetious, of course. He's
Damn.
never in a million years going to get that
Oh
the way he's
man.
going right now. But no, I like the over here. I like the over here, and I like the honest props. That's what I'm going to look at here in this game. Dutch, what do you like in Nets Bucks?
Yeah, man. Fuck Ben Simmons. Fuck the Brooklyn Nets. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm on. I forget. Did I say I picked them boys to go to the finals last week? God damn. I'm already ready to throw in the towel on that shit, man. Hey, real talk. I'm not liking what I see out of Ben Simmons. You pretty much said it, my man. Shout out to Bo Jackson and Billy picked. On the Suns money line last night. He said it. It was 90s night, and boy, was it a motherfucking night in Phoenix for the Suns. That was a beautiful thing. I got LJ from H-Town on Durant over 6.5 rebounds at plus money. I see you, LJ. Appreciate you dropping your knowledge here. And, this first stat right here, DC Sports says, where's Ski? He'll be here tomorrow, my man. And the first thing I got is the Bucks got 3 days rest. So the rest advantage is definitely to the Milwaukee motherfucking Bucks. And one team plays defense, and one team doesn't play defense. You got a team that allows 96 points per game, number one in the motherfucking NBA, and you got the Brooklyn Nets giving up 123 points per game, 27th in the motherfucking NBA. I look at this as like, man, where do I sign up? I got a 3 minus 120. You can lay the 4, lay the 3.5. Do what you like. I think the Bucks run away with this eventually. I'm all over Milwaukee here. I like this game an awful lot. I just think Milwaukee's a better basketball team. Brooklyn's soft as fuck down low. And they've had their way with the Nets. The Nets The Nets are 2-5 ATS last 7 meetings in Milwaukee, and Milwaukee's 5-1 straight up last 6 meetings versus these boys. But when it comes down to, you touched on it, Giannis, they got absolutely nothing for him. What do they got for Bobby Portis? What do they got for Brook Lopez? I mean, they ain't got nothing for him. Let's be honest. And they got Drew Holiday for Kyrie motherfucking Irving, and that's just what it is. So I think honestly, Milwaukee will put it all over these motherfuckers. And then let's not to mention, one team rebounds, one team doesn't. You got a team 29th in motherfucking NBA in rebounding in the Brooklyn Nets. You got a top 5 team in rebounding in Milwaukee. This, to me, is a perfect motherfucking matchup for Milwaukee. Put it all over Brooklyn. And they want to do it because KD, Kyrie, and Ben just put out that energy that somebody wants to smack them motherfuckers. And Milwaukee will be the ones to do it tonight. Fear the motherfucking deer early and often, but I like the 3 minus 120. Lock it in.
There you go. Laying the full game, 3.5 right now with Milwaukee. Wham bam, Brooklyn, Milwaukee.
Yeah, I kind of want to fade Brooklyn, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I think they are in a bad spot, like you mentioned, Dutch. They haven't played since Saturday, bro. As far as the Bucks, man, like that's a long time. You know what I'm saying? For as far as rest against another person, in the NBA, and then this team, as far as the first 3 games that they played so far, they're allowing opponents 44% beyond the arc. That sounds like a Grayson Allen prop to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he'd probably be able to get off on these boys. I do like that they're getting Joe Harris more back acclimated. You know what I'm saying? That we could that may be a reason for this over to be a good look there. 231. I don't want to be involved in that. So I just took the Bucks, man. I think the Bucks is going to win. I think they're going to come out the first half. They only played 2 games. I think they're a little bit more fresher just based off of that. Even if they are going to lose this game, it'd be more so about the second half. I think that's where you start to see those guys kind of like, get a little bit more cramped up or whatever. But I like the Bucks to come out early, man, and to come out and win. They covered the first 2 games. I think they win a -2 and -110. That's going to be an official play for me. But I believe that it's a real about, like you said, who's going to stop Giannis. I do think that Ben Simmons does play a little bit more better defense than it was for them last year. It was really KD's job. You know what I'm saying? So they got to upgrade there. But other than that, man, like I don't think that they are really going to stop Giannis. It'd be more so about them containing him or slowing him down. It's still about the other guys being able to shoot over them. So just the fact that they have been giving it up, I think they continue to give it up tonight. So I like the over with my boy Babano, but the first half with the Bucks.
Yeah, Ben's an elite defender, real quick. Ben's an elite defender, but if you can't defend without fouling, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like you ain't shit, bro. You ain't shit. And then he wants to act like he's tough in these meetings or something, in these press conferences and shit. It's like, bro, come on, man. I can't believe I co-signed on this motherfucker. The trade ain't looking that bad actually for Philly now. It really ain't, really, when you look at it. Curry's ass is not playing. Ben's a fucking trash ass motherfucker. Go ahead, Babano. My bad.
Oh, it's all right. Go ahead. I don't mind it at all.
I know you love the Ben trash talking.
No, he is a good defender, but I mean, even the defensive play, like it's not been in the key moments of these games. I don't see him making a big defensive play, and we know he doesn't give you anything offensively. Can't shoot, can't make free throws. can't fall away and hit a three. Can't do any of that shit. So if he's not going to defend for you in the critical moments of a basketball game and get in foul trouble, what the fuck's he doing? Not a tinker's dam if that's what's happening with Ben Simmons. All right, we've got Philly and Toronto. We've got a good Eastern Conference game here. Playoff revenge, I guess, is the big storyline here. If you're Toronto, they're 2-point home underdogs, 212 the total in this one. Credit to the Raptors. Thanks to them for coming through for me. Monday night, best bet was the Raptors against Miami without Scotty Barnes, and I was worried once they ruled him out, but they overcame it, and they got the job done in the rematch against Miami on Monday. And now we'll see if they can carry that over. And Scotty Barnes' status, again, is probably going to go right down till tip-off, game-time decision. Still battling that ankle issue going into this game, so potential that he misses once again for the Raptors here going into this game. It was very, very refreshing to see that Fred VanVleet, after some rough struggles to begin the season, got going a little bit against Miami in that victory. 6 of 16 from the field, 4 of 6 from three-point range, 24 points. That's the Fred VanVleet they need, especially if they're going to be without Scotty Barnes once again tonight. Are we ready to lay points on the road with Philly? I mean, they've played, 3 straight home games, lost 2 to Milwaukee and San Antonio, beat up finally Indiana, played a lot better, certainly defensively, 120 to 106 in that game. Remember, they also had the disappointing loss in Boston to open up the season against the Celtics. So this team's only 1-3, and like I said, their chemistry really hasn't been there. Now, it was there against Indiana, okay? That was definitely the best game they've played so far, easily. And maybe Philly's going to go on a run now and get their shit together. And if that's a sign of them getting it together, they can win this game because they are better than Toronto personnel-wise. There's no question. Of course, they beat them in the playoffs last year. But they're going on the road now. One thing about the Raptors, they're a competitive, feisty team. It's never an easy out playing this team. They've got to show that they can build on what they did against Indiana. And Toronto ain't Indiana. All right, Toronto is better than Indiana. So it's a tricky game. I don't really have a strong feel. I think Philly, I'm worried Philly got it going the other night. They had rolled into Toronto, play well again. But at the same time, I'm not rushing to go against the Raptors as a home dog in a spot where I know they're going to give it their best, playing Philly for the first time since they got knocked out by them in the playoffs. So it's probably going to be a pass for me with a mild lean to Toronto tonight. What do you think here, Wham, Philly and Toronto?
Yeah, this is pretty much all centered around Embiid. What type of Embiid are we going to get? Is it going to be dominant? Is he going to get the 30 points that it needs to have in order for them to win this game against this Toronto Raptors team? I think
Toronto could not do anything with Embiid in the playoffs last year, if you remember.
Right. But at the same time, what we've seen so far with Embiid lately, it's been very passive, passing up game-winning opportunities, turning over the ball, looking real, clumsy as hell out there. You know what I mean? Maybe it's because he's out of shape, but he's looking real clumsy. I don't really want to trust him or Doc Rivers at a road favorite spot. So obviously I'm going to go think towards the Toronto Raptors, but I wouldn't be surprised if the 76ers kind of show some type of sign. Like you said, they did have success against them, but it's no way I'm going that direction here. I'm only looking towards the Raptors. I really, for this game in particular, they're coming in here 3-1 against the spread, then 1-3 the other team. So it's not really that much of a rest advantage for either team. So it's all about Fred VanVleet. We talked about it too on the last show, Babano. Like, he had a real bad foul opportunity for the other game, came back the next game and had 20 plus points. You could definitely see Fred VanVleet being able to put this on this 76ers team. As far as their defense, it's more down low than it is on the perimeter side. So I do think that you may see PJ Tucker play a little bit better because he's been making all his shots in practice, as the beat writers been tweeting about all damn day. But as far as like the Raptors, I think they are going to be the team that, be a little bit more prevalent at the end and still be able to win this game and for sure cover the two. But that's how I'm looking here. I haven't bet this game yet, but that's the way I'm looking.
Yeah, we'll see if Philly can build off Indiana. I know you're going to get a great effort from the Raptors. We'll see if it's enough. We'll see if Scotty Barnes plays. One thing, too, about the Raptors, they got Chris Boucher back. Bonjour, as their broadcaster always says, because he's from Montreal, Quebec, so he does the bonjour every time he makes a big play, Jack Armstrong. But he came back, and he gave him 10 points off the bench. He's an important bench player for the Raptors. Defensively, rebounding, gives them a little scoring off the bench, so That definitely helped when they beat Miami the other night. Shout out to Kyle Hintley and appreciate it, my friend. $10 dono. We got to hit that dono train. There it is. Thank you, Kyle. We appreciate it very much. One of our great supporters and viewers here on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, what do you like in here? Sixers, Raptors.
Yeah, man. Real good to see Kyle back in the building. I see you, my dude. Best of luck tonight. Run it the fuck up. I'm sure you will, my guy. Yeah, man. Shout out to Picks from Dave, leader of the Nerd Nation. Be sure to check out my guy, man. Hey, nah, man. It's cold as a motherfucker. It's hoodie season now. And hey, best believe I'm gonna rock the hoodie. Not to mention I'm in grime mode after, you know what I'm saying, giving it back a little yesterday. So I'm feeling kind of grimy. And best believe I'm about to hit a lick or two. And this one, you know, this game, you know, I really kind of like this game, but I don't want to force it. I got 4 bets on the card tonight. If you know me, that's a lot, to be honest with you. So I'm crossing some shit off. I got 2. Look, Bobano, like 4 bets, a lot. You know what I mean? Like, hey, but it's for real. It's a lot for me. I'm giving y'all a lot today. So if y'all would, I noticed yesterday we was a little light on the motherfucking likes. So you lazy motherfuckers, if you would.
What's low volume for me is high volume for Dutch. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. We got about 250 in this bitch right now. If y'all want to hit him over the head, you got to hit the motherfucking like button. You know what I mean? Steps to getting finer things in life. 1 is touching down right here at Plus Sports motherfucking radio. 2 is hitting the motherfucking like button. And 3 is hitting the motherfucking window. So come on now. Follow the motherfucking steps to getting the finer things in life. Yeah, but this game right here, man, I ain't going to lie to you. I think we should be on the Toronto Raptors here, man. I crossed it off here, but I like the Raptors, man. Like our boy Sweaty Butcher said, the Sixers are cooked. I mean, come on, man. I have no faith in Mr. Glenn Rivers. All right, the roster looks nice, but it don't pay the price, bro. Like it really don't. The shit is not real nice when it comes down to it. They're very frustrating to watch. The last time the Sixers traveled north, all right, they beat these motherfucking Raptors by 35 fucking points. So I know they remember this. I know they remember last time Philly came to Toronto. So 35-point ass whooping, which usually the Raptors play pretty well against the Sixers. The Sixers are 6-15 ATS last 21 in Toronto. I do not trust the Sixers whatsoever. I do not trust Glenn fucking Rivers whatsoever. If I bet this game, I would absolutely be all over Toronto Raptors. I believe there's value here on the Toronto Raptors, but it's not going to be my 5th play. I have 4. I didn't want to force it, but it is here. There's notes, and I crossed it off. I think Toronto's live here.
I got to bring this up here. Hey, Bobano, why did you delete me? I honestly don't know. Or maybe I should. There's a million people that are trying to, you know, ask you questions, DM you, and all this shit. I honestly don't remember specifically who you are, but if I did, I apologize. I don't know, but anyway, just wanted to mention that since you brought it up. Why did you delete you from where? I don't even know what platform you're talking about.
Yeah. Hey, this thing we do, bro. It's grown folk here, bro. It's grown folk.
Yeah, it is. I apologize, though, if I did anything like that. Anyway, next up, we've got San Antonio and Minnesota. Minnesota, 9-point home favorites, 235 the total in this game. I don't like these situations here, what they're doing with these back-to-backs, same teams in the same building. I don't like it. It's a tricky handicap, you know, especially off the last game. And you're wondering who's going to show up, who's not. Same 2 teams playing each other. Like, look. You would think Minnesota's going to show up here, and I could probably only back Minnesota. They're still the better of these 2 teams, and they suffered a really bad loss to San Antonio just a couple days ago at home, 115-106. I expect them to be better. I expect them to win. But I'm at the point now where I'm still not ready to lay 9 with Minnesota. I think that's what you have to do, is what Mean Green Sports Picks is looking at. First half. This team can't play a second half of basketball half the time. They can't. I mean, it's like 24 minutes, halftime. Our work's done. We can think about the strip club, the titty bar, and every other thing coming up, what we do after the game. We don't have to think about the second half and playing good basketball anymore. Edwards, Cat, all these fucks. I mean, you got to play 2 halves of basketball. I'm sick of it, guys. It's like over and over again. And this falls on the coach, too. Chris Finch, what are you doing? Are you getting these guys in the right frame of mind to play good 3rd quarter basketball, 4th quarter basketball? You're not consistently. Last year, this was a fucking problem. And early this year, it's been an issue so far. So I probably will end up on the Timberwolves first half. I do think that's a good look, -5.5, because we often get them good early in the game. But do we ever consistently trust them beyond halftime? Not a chance. Not what I've seen. They should play better tonight. They shouldn't want to lose 2 in a row to San Antonio at home, even though the Spurs have been a shockingly resilient, hard-trying young bunch here with the wins against Indy, Philly, and Minnesota, 3 straight on the road. But I think it ends here for them, and I think Minnesota will get off to a good start. But first half, get in and get out. I'm not trusting this team for a full game right now. What do you think, Dutch? Spurs, Wolves?
Yeah, man, I'm right with you here. I'm gonna back with this motherfucker real quick. Like, I'm not.
All right. Yeah.
I am indeed, my friend LJ from H-Town. Good to see you in the chat. I am. I'm sick of this. I mean, it's not just because I've lost a couple times with Timberwolves full game. It's just this is just recurring. This is constant. This is all the time.
9 days from last year's breakdown of the Timberwolves. I will say.
Yeah.
You know, this trade, might be the trade of the motherfucking century. Goddamn it.
I know. I mean, they thought you were going to insulate this team defensively with Rudy Gobert. And, you know, what's funny is the defense actually the last couple of games has been a little bit better. But now offensively, they've had some issues the last 2 games, the Minnesota Timberwolves. We'll see if they can pick that. I mean, they only scored 106 against San Antonio. How does that happen? So they got to pick it up at that end of the court as well. Wham, how are you going about this game, San Antonio, Minnesota?
Yeah, man, this game is a backwood, bro. This game is a backwood.
All right. Yeah.
I do have thoughts, but I can't.
No,
I
he
can't,
did.
I can't wait
Yes.
for it. Yeah, he did that. I appreciate
He's
it.
trying to show you how backwood is. Come on, man. Good shit, Vic. Oh, man.
I will say this. Both teams shot 44%. That's got to go up. Pace is going to be there. The total's going up. I agree with that. Under last game, I think this one's different. It goes over. High number, though. That's the only issue. It's 234.5, 235. You're not getting a bargain, but I think this game probably gets its way up and over the total. All right, Indiana, Chicago. We got the Bulls, 7.5 point home favorites, 234.5 the total in this game. The Bulls, I mean, one hell of a defensive effort. I mean, the first quarter, that was not good for Chicago, and then they turned it on ever since, and they ended up running away and burying the Boston Celtics, 120-102 on Monday night, winning outright as 5-point home underdogs. Can they put 2 good games in a row together? That continues to be a problem, Chicago. They won against Miami, and then they lost the next time out. And off a single victory going back to last season, you know, the numbers haven't necessarily been good for the Chicago Bulls in this spot. Still only 1-7 ATS in their last 8 home games as well, which isn't great either. So, you know, can you show that you can put 2 good games in a row together, win and cover now as larger favorites here at home? That becomes the question going into this game. Indiana lost 120-106 to Philadelphia in their last game. They also lost to the Spurs and the Wizards. The only win was at home against Detroit. It's not like we have the utmost faith right now in the Pacers. We still have Miles Turner out of the lineup, or at least expected maybe to miss again, although he's been bumped up a little bit in terms of his status from doubtful to questionable with that ankle. If he's out again, you know I'm coming back to it. We're rocking again with the Pacers over. It finally stayed under the last game. Yeah. They played against Philadelphia without Miles Turner. But let's be honest, Philadelphia can play a little bit defense that I trust more than Chicago can, at least on a consistent basis. You know, can we count on Chicago to lock in defensively the way they did against Boston? I don't think I can, because we've seen so much of this from this team. One game good, the next game not so good. So I don't think I'll bet the side. I'd probably lean Pacers, believe it or not, with the 7.5, but I think I feel better about the total, 234 up and over the total here with the Pacers and the Bulls. I'm not ready to lay 7.5 though with Chicago. Like I said, I would lean to the Pacers as a dog here if I were to bet the side in this game, which I'm not sure about yet. What are we at with the backwoods? We're not at as many as we thought so far.
I'm going to say, like, I'm loaded right now. I don't remember how many.
I think he's at 3 right now, if I'm not mistaken.
3? Okay, well, I'm going to be dead honest with you. I didn't even know this game was on the motherfucking card. So, back with this motherfucker.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want good NBA basketball, you know what? You probably were hoping this game wouldn't be on the card tonight. Quite honest with you, Indiana and Chicago. Wham, anything for you? Pacers, Bulls. Ty Halliburton, something with him?
Yeah, no, you know what? That's what I was thinking, bro. Miles Turner's questionable, though. He might be back in the lineup, so total's kind of iffy. Maybe he's in there, maybe a good under spot, because he's going to be defensively impactful for the Pacers, which they haven't had anybody doing that. So, That's the only way I was waiting for. But yeah, I'm with my boy Dutch, man. Until then, man, this is a backwood, brother.
All right. Yeah.
There we go. Another backwood for Dutch.
Not even our boy Sweaty Butcher would hit that backwood. He loved it backwoods too. He's like, fuck that, man. That's a big old. Hey, that just so everyone knows, that's the biggest backwood. It's a 6-pound backwood. Yep. All right. I don't know if I told y'all motherfuckers that. That's what it is. 6-pound backwood, biggest one. And I'm
brought out the heavy artillery for that backwood clip right there. You got to bring the best at all times here on the Pub Sports Radio NBA Pub Hub show. All right, next up, we continue along. It is Houston, Utah. The Jazz up to 8-point home favorites here in this game. Total 232.5, 233 in this game. Obviously, this is another one of those rematch situations. We just saw the Rockets and the Jazz a couple nights ago, although that game was in Houston. This is a home and home. Now they're in Utah. And the Jazz lost their first game of the season to Houston. We said that was definitely a Houston spot. I didn't pull the trigger on Houston, but you could clearly tell that game was an advantageous spot for the Rockets with the Jazz off those 2 overtime games in a row, back-to-back, playing the Pelicans and the Wolves, and then back-to-back games after an overtime game against New Orleans, and they ran out of gas late in that game. They lost 114 to 108. I definitely think back home against this Houston team, which hasn't won a game yet on the road, and they've played pretty bad basketball on the road as well, albeit Milwaukee, Atlanta, pretty good teams. Utah should win, but laying 8 with Utah, no thank you. I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that at all. So this, the over's kind of interesting to me, but it's 232.5, 233. I do expect both teams to be able to score. Utah's playing pretty fast. I think that game honestly would have gone over the total if they didn't run out of gas, run out of energy down the stretch, Utah, because that was a pretty good over pace. I think I might get there with the 232.5 here over the total. As far as the side goes, Utah probably wins. I'm not comfortable laying 8 with this group, though, even though I think they're trying to avenge the loss the other night. And I still think at some point, too, Utah's going to level off. Okay, Utah will level off. That 3-0 is going to look like an aberration 3 months from now. And the real Jazz are going to show themselves here in the near future. So it's too many points. The Utah spot, revenge spot, I get that, but I'm not laying 8. I'll probably look at the over here. Wham, what do you think? Houston, Utah.
Yeah, you got Jayshawn Tate questionable. I think he's more trending towards being available than being out.
Yep.
But the other guys that's out, there's Apparin Sengun. He's been.
I left my wallet in El Segundo. Yeah, he's out.
It's Segundo. Yeah, I like how you said that last time. And then Bruno Fernando. So you got a lot of opportunity and a lot of minutes for our guy Jabari Smith Jr., who we've been back at it again, right over the 2.5 3-point makes. We're going right back to the well with that. I think he's going to continue to get opportunities. Last time he had 3 out of 5 attempts, so he hit that a prop for us last time, just barely. But at the same time, still had the opportunity there. I think this time he has even more opportunity, even with Jayshawn Tate in the lineup. So I like Jabari Smith to go over 2.5 3-point makes. Obviously, my boy LJ, he said we already know what Wham's on. Yeah, I tweeted that out a long time ago. But yeah, I think it's at plus 100 now. Probably not getting the 8 cent, but plus 100. I still endorse that. As far as the waist, the side, I agree with Bobano. I think that Houston is still going to be able to score. Are the defense going to be there for the Jazz? Is something that you're concerned with? I do believe that Jordan Clarkson will go over his 3-point prop as well. I did take a look at that. I didn't take anything into consideration, so I would agree if anybody likes that play or anything. But that's the only bet that I do like on the Jazz side. Other than that, I think that the Houston Rockets are the spot. The fact that the line moves like crazy towards the Jazz, I don't know. I think people really like the Jazz, man, or they know something that we don't know. So I think the Jazz is the spot tonight. I mean, as far as Houston, I think Houston is the spot tonight, but I did take Jabari. That's an official play for me. Over 2.5 3-point makes.
There you go. Over 2.5 3-point makes for Wham Bam with a prop here in this game. Jabari Smith for the Rockets. All right, Dutch, what do you think? Rockets, Jazz.
Yeah, man. Hey, shout out to our guy Aaron, was like number 100, and we appreciate that, like Aaron. All right, but our guy John Lee, it's good to see you, my man. He said it best though. We got 290 motherfuckers in here and only 100 motherfucking likes. That's this motherfucking respectful now. Come on now. We're doing what we can do. Y'all got to do a little bit of support. You don't want to pay the $4.99, then fuck it. Hit the motherfucking like button, God damn it. That's all we ask y'all to do real quick. But yeah, man, what game? Let me see here. We're back with this motherfucker, man. I ain't touching it.
All right. Yeah.
You want your auto tell that Dutch is not interested in a game and is going to backwood it when he's got to ask, what game are we on? What game are we on here? That's when you know, hey, he ain't got shit on it.
Shout out to Jimmy Go, too. I see you, my man. Good to see you, bro.
All right. How about this next one? We've got Miami and Portland. I think Dutch does have some interest here with the Heat and the Blazers. Heat 2.5-point road favorites, 220.5 being the total in this game. Portland Trailblazers, I'm telling you what, I know Miami's not played great, 3 losses in their last 4 games. I know Portland's probably not going to keep this up, what they've done. But I ain't stepping in front of the Blazers right now with this level of confidence they're playing with. I've been impressed. I did that the other night with Denver and paid the price for it. And the Blazers ran away with it, 135-110 over the Denver Nuggets. They're playing at a level of defense right now, Portland, to begin the season that I haven't seen from any Blazers team yet under Chauncey Billups here for the Blazers. I haven't seen them play defense like this. They're a top 10 defensive efficiency team right now in the NBA. How about number 8 right now in the NBA in terms of defensive efficiency? It's been a long fucking time since we've seen Portland on a top 10 defensive list in the NBA. So, you've got to give them a lot of credit here for the Blazers, the way they've defended. And, of course, they've beaten some solid teams as well. Phoenix, Denver, 2 of these wins. Pretty impressive stuff. Like I say, they've got something going on here. Miami starting this road trip. We'll see if they can get it going. They're off to a disappointing 1-3 start. There are still some injuries for Portland. Payton hasn't played yet this year. Justice Winslow a little bit banged up, but they've gotten good contributions. So Dame Lillard, it's good to see him once again playing at a very high level. 31 points in the victory against Denver. Had a big game against the Lakers as well. No question about that. So, look, I understand Miami, we think, is still going to be long-term the better squad. We know that. And it hasn't started out that way. And you're probably getting a little value in the line with Miami. I definitely agree with all of those points. But when you're talking about a team that is playing with confidence, has come out of the gate this season strong, 4-0 straight up, 4-0 against the spread, I'm not fading that team until they lose. Because clearly the betting markets have been a little bit off on Portland. They're outperforming market expectations. And until I see the sign of a stumble, Portland or pass for me. It's probably going to be pass, but that's where I stand with Heat Blazers. Wham, what do you think here, Miami, Portland?
Yeah, I'm back on Trailblazers, man. I'm not going to be scared. I'm not shy away from this shit, bro. We've seen them open up at favorites. Then the line moves in total different direction towards the Heat. Again, this is another situation where, just like the last game that we broke down, the line moves crazy. Do they know something that we don't know? In my reality, it looks like that the Trailblazers are the better team. They can make more shots, and they actually probably can defend at the same level, if not better, than the Miami Heat. I think that is a good analysis by Babano there. I believe that the Trailblazers are pretty good. They're still getting disrespected, though, like by bettors, I think. You know what I mean? Like, you're looking at them being that bad team that were playing bad defense, but Nasir Little was playing really good. They got those other guys, and Sharp kid, the rookie, Sharp. I forgot his name, Sheldon Sharp, or I'm sure my boy is it Sheldon Sharp?
It's Sharp. Yeah, exactly. Shaden Sharp.
Yeah. I knew I had to be in there in the middle of that bit.
There you go. He's been shooting the ball pretty well. I like how Dame kind of deferred to Simons to be able to go off like he did towards the end of that last game. He really deferred to him because I only need 4 points, Dame, for me to catch the plus 335 points, bro. Like, could have gave me the 4 points and still deferred to the little homie like that, but neither here nor there. I might be salty there, but I think Portland has been really good to me so far this season. I'm not mad at taking shots. That's just how I feel at this point because I've been backing them, especially at this late underdog spot. I feel like it's good enough to give, bro. Like the Portland Trailblazers, if you like them, not talking to anybody on it, talking about it off of it, but I think the Portland Trailblazers is the spot today, even with the line movement. I like the Blazers.
I think this could be a night too for Simons. I think they'll key in on Dame. Dame's been excellent. 37.7 points per game averaging so far this year, Damian Lillard. I mean, I guess that abdominal issue is gone. Doesn't look like that's hindering him anymore. He's been absolutely outstanding for the Blazers early on. But, well, Miami can defend. Miami is still playing, pretty solid defense to begin the year. Maybe not nearly as good as they've done it in the past, but offensively, they're actually scuffling. I've got them at 27th Miami offensive efficiency so far this year. So putting the biscuit in the basket has been an issue for them early in the campaign here. Dutch, what do you think, Heat Blazers?
Yeah, man, I'm right with you there. I follow up on that. The Heat, they're 1-3 to start off, but yeah, they can't put the ball in the fucking bucket. They score 103 points per game. That's 28th in the motherfucking league, bro. 44% from the field goal, 23rd in the league. I mean, they're bottom tier in every fucking thing. 33% from 3-point line with Hill, with Robinson, with all of them. They're 20th in the league at 33%. Got a couple guys in the chat. Our guy Sweaty Butcher, really, some good stats as well. Really great stats. I don't like seeing it. With the Heat minus 135 is prime cut play of the day and some good stats to back it. But I'm on the Blazers here +3. I like this look here. Also, Mr. Crocodile, Top Crocodile, new name I believe, says squares are on Portland. Well, God damn it, I'm gonna stand my motherfucking square and I'm going straight to the motherfucking window, bro, with the 3, and I believe they win this goddamn game. The Blazers averaging 117 points per game, shooting 47% from the top 10 in the league from deep. 39.5%, right under 40%, top 6th in the NBA. And Dame time is back, baby. We live in the moment, right? We forgot how good this motherfucker is. He's right. He's healthy. You touched on it, Bobano, in the chat as well. It's Dame time, baby. That's what it is, man. And it's contagious. It's contagious. They know their guy's right, and everyone's stepping the fuck up. I love the addition of Jeremy Grant. Simons, I mean, goddamn, the kid played out of his mind the other night, but he's nice. He's nice. A little small on the defensive end for me, but he's nice.
Taller players going up against him, it's going to be a problem. Yeah,
that's what I'm a little worried. Just to me, it's CJ, bro. CJ's nice as fuck, but I mean, when you got Dame, do you need CJ? That was my thing. So they get Simon, bring him up, great draft pick. The kid's a stud. I don't know about fit, but right now they're playing. Chauncey's got him playing ball. Most importantly, they're playing fucking defense. All right, top 10 in points allowed. Come on, man. My man Bobano gave you some better numbers as well. But I like Jeremy Grant with the on the wing out there. Nurkic will get his thing in low, stay out of foul trouble. But it comes down to Dame's gonna close him, man. Dame, keep it close, and Dame will find a motherfucking way. The Heat, man, they ain't it, bro. They ain't it. I think they had their moment. It has passed. Kyle Lowry's ass. Ain't Kyle Lowry, all right? He ain't Kyle Lowry no more. And we'll see. Obviously, they have Jimmy Butler. They have Hero who could get hot. They have some talent. But Oladipo is not making the trip. So to me, this Miami team has the Golden State Warriors on deck tomorrow night as well. So they're gonna go into Portland, maybe looking at Golden State on deck. You know what I mean? So look for the Blazers to rip motherfucking City early and often. Give me the 3. I'm gonna take the motherfucking 3 straight to the window. They probably win this game outright.
All right, liking the Blazers. And I get it, public dog. I get it. And I understand the chat, some people concerned. Public dog, the line movement toward Miami. I understand that. But
it's 56-46. It's not like the whole fucking world's on the Blazers.
I'm not stepping in front of a 4-0, straight up 4-0 ATS team. It's clearly been an undervalued team this year to start.
For sure.
And it's like my rule in every sport. If a team's just rolling point spread-wise, I never faded the Atlanta Falcons when they started out 6-0 ATS. But then I saw them lose, and I'm like, okay, now I might look to go against the Atlanta Falcons. But then they were covering every game early in the season. I'm not looking to go against that. They were undervalued, and it took 6-7 games for them to finally not cover a number. It could still take 6-7 games before Portland finally loses or fails to cover. I ain't stepping in front of the falling knife. It's that old saying right now. Portland's got it going. They're undervalued. They got to fail to win, fail to cover. Then I might start betting against Portland. Not till then. We'll see. It's a good game. This has me intrigued.
I think it is too. I just went high on Miami, and I think they've already proven they beat Denver. I mean, 4-0 getting points. I see what my guy's saying, but people are high on Miami. And I said, and as we talked about prior to the season started, do I think Miami's a shit team? No, but I don't think it's the same Miami team as last year.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued, as Poppy would say with Lebitard when they did that show on ESPN years ago. I'm very, very intrigued. You'd say about Miami and Portland. That's how I feel about this. It's an intriguing game. I want to see if the Blazers can keep this going here. All right, final game of the Wednesday card, the Lake Show the LA Lakers, the shit show is what it should
Is it
be.
a show
The
though?
Lakers,
Well, yeah, the shit. There you go.
not a
Shit
show for the fans, that's for sure.
The show for us. We just bet against these motherfuckers.
Nuggets 5-point home favorites, 229 the total. I mean, you can shut the show off if you want. You know what I like in this game. It's those Denver Nuggets. It's the Mile High City basketball. 5 points. We'll lay it here with the Denver Nuggets. Not only are you going to get the better team at a reasonable number at home here, you get them off of getting their shit kicked by the Portland Trailblazers, 135 to 110. They're going to want to obviously wipe that awful taste out of their mouth from that game with the Lakers. And I don't care if the Lakers are mediocre. They're the epitome of mediocrity right now, the Lakers. Everybody still wants to beat this team when they play them. And I have no doubt about it. They're the Lakers. They still have LeBron, AD, they're a shell of what they used to be. But you still want to beat them every time you play them. And that's, I think, the sentiment that the Nuggets are going to take to the basketball court. Now we've got Cripple Creek City here, the seniors' home. Anthony Davis got the back issues, but he's going to play through it. LeBron's got the foot problem bothering him, but it looks like he's going to play through it tonight. Russell Westbrook, we'll have to see if he's able to play because unlikely with a hamstring is what we're hearing. Darvin Ham saying that probably not going to see Russell Westbrook here tonight in this game. That actually might make the Lakers better. That's the one thing that might scare me is that without Westbrook might actually make the Lakers a better basketball team because you have a chance to actually have someone out on the floor that can do a little bit more for you at that position. But no, I think in this game here, it's Denver for me, -5. I think you've got a team that's going to be lucky as shit if they make the playoffs. That's if they make the playoffs, facing a team that's got a chance to be one of the contenders in the Western Conference. They haven't even gotten everything fully on track yet, Denver. They got Michael Porter Jr. back, although he's out tonight due to injury. Jamal Murray's going to need some time to get more assimilated into the rotation. But when they get all the pieces going and when that chemistry starts to get rolling for Denver, they're going to be a handful to deal with later in the season. But as for tonight, I'm going to go with the Nuggets here, -5, a reasonable number. Dutch, what do you think? Lakers Nuggets.
Yeah, man. You see, I got the vibes to Kobe, the leg. I try to be, show some love to my guy Wham Bam. It's his last day on the show for the week. I've been busting it. I've been busting the motherfucking Lakers ass. And I'm going to continue to do it. You know what I mean? This is shout out to our guy Sharkwater Nations. This is the fade hat right here. All right. This is the fade motherfucking hat. Ooh. I'm right with you, Bobano. We fading the fuck out of the Lakers, man. All right. The one thing I'm worried about with the Denver Nuggets is their defense. Well, thank the motherfucking Lord that the LA Lakers come to town because they can't fucking score. You know what I mean? They gonna make the Denver Nuggets look like they actually got defense. The Lakers average 103 points per fucking game, 29th in the NBA, 40% field, 40% they shoot from the motherfucking field. That's 30th in the motherfucking league, and a motherfucking measly 21% from 3-point line, 30th in the motherfucking league. So we might see some Denver. Denver actually might play a little defense tonight simply because the Lakers are so fucking bad at scoring. Because the Nuggets do allow 124 points per game, 30th in the league, and that's something I do not like. All right, and I did not like the way that defense played second half against the Blazers. But my man Bobano touched on it, man. They coming off that ass whooping at home against the Lakers. It don't matter if the Lakers are good or bad. Motherfuckers want to beat them. LeBron does his little powder shit. Russ me mugging motherfuckers, and AD just thinks he's fucking God's gift. So, people do want to smack them motherfuckers around. It don't matter if they're, 5-15 or 15-5. They want to beat these boys. And the Nuggets -5, -110. Is good money. They're first in field goals. The Nuggets are a fucking efficient offensive team. All right, they just need to play some defense. They're first in field goals, second in threes. They're dynamite when it comes on the offensive end. They just got to play some defense. Plus, the Lakers don't play well in the Mile High City. 1-3-1 ATS last 5 in Denver. Give me the Nuggets -5. That's just good money.
Liking the Denver Nuggets, who haven't played great defense yet, and the Lakers have played good defense. That's the one thing they've done. They played okay defensively so far, but you got to put the biscuit in the basket. Can they do that here? Is going to be the question here. But again, you're talking about the Lakers. They haven't covered a point spread yet this year. No, 0-3 straight up, 0-3 against the spread so far this year, including, and people say, oh, but now you're getting them as dogs now, 5. Well, you got them as dogs against the Clippers. They didn't cover. You got them as dogs against Golden State. They didn't cover. So the underdog role hasn't even been good for them so far this year, the LA Lakers. But we'll see if Denver can bounce back from that pretty bad second half against Portland. Wham, what do you think here, Lakers Nuggets?
Yeah, man. The Lakers defense is great, right? Their defense is top tier, and they kind of showed it against some pretty good teams as well. But the offense sucks. They're the worst offense so far in the league, man. The worst, bro. And they getting those threes looks like they're getting the great looks. You're watching the ball just go hard off the back iron. You know what I mean? Like it's terrible to see, but this is the worst defense they're going to be able to they're facing, in quite a while. This is bottom five defense as far as the Nuggets. Like we Dutch kind of talked about it there as well, but I think that the Lakers do have an opportunity to be able to fix something, especially with Russ out the lineup. You said it, Bubeno, addition by subtraction with him out the game. Like, is the Lakers going to be able to pull it off? Do I have confidence in that? No, but I am already on this game because I took the over 44.5 before the season started. So that's the reason why I did that, before I stopped myself from seeing the great spot for the Lakers and not feel like I have anything to do with this game. I do have something to do with this game. Hope we win. I'm gonna leave it alone as far as the full game here. I think that there are opportunities to take advantage of some props, but since they are Lakers, as far as like AD double, I really like that in this game. It's plus money, plus 110. I like that a lot. But am I gonna bet it? No, I don't want to have nothing to do with the Lakers tonight. I just want to watch as a fan. I'm gonna stay away from this game. If anything, as far as the Nuggets, I think their defense is probably, as bad as anybody's in the league. They probably can make the Lakers look good just as much as the Lakers can make them look good as well. So it's kind of washing each other out.
Something's got to give, right? Denver defense, Laker offense, right? Something's got to give tonight. I think the home team is what rules the day. We'll see, though. But I will say this, 25 of 118, 21.2% from three-point range. That's a disgrace. That's embarrassing. 25 for 118. What the hell are you doing shooting 118 three-pointers anyway when you can't make any of them? That's another thing I got to ask myself. How are you taking that many threes when you can't
wide
make any
open, though, Bubano? They really be wide open. They like, go ahead and shoot it. I dare you to shoot it. They shoot the shit.
They really have no fear of anybody making it consistently from the perimeter. Obviously, because obviously they see, hey, wait a minute, I'm wide open. There's not a soul around me. There's no arm in my face, no hand in my face.
Try to get to the foul line.
Yeah, and they're falling for the bit trap every single time, and they can't make any of these damn things. It's just the most hilarious shit you'll ever see. We'll see if the Lakers can shake themselves out of it tonight. All right, great stuff. That is the Wednesday card here on the NBA Pub Sports Radio with Dutch, with Wham, with yours truly, Ian Cameron. 292 live viewers. Hit that like button. Let's go. Let's get that like count ramped up before we wrap this show up. We will be back with best bets in just a second. Freshest look for Dutch as well. But first, Manscaped in Southtown 101. All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, Texas, stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke, manscaped.com. Check them out. Lawnmower 4.0. Get any Manscaped product, 20% off your purchase at manscaped.com using the promo code PUBSPORTS. All right, best bets to wrap up the Wednesday edition of the show. Dan Kelly, I can tell you we're two in a row. I've won here with the best bets. Friday, we had the Pelicanos last Friday against Charlotte. And Monday we had the Toronto Raptors against Miami. So 2 in a row after losing on Wednesday. The first best bet I had on Wednesday was a loss. So I'm 2-1. We'll see if we can improve on that here today. Let's start with you, Wham. What do you like? Best bet.
Best bet for me is going to be the first bet I made. It's going to be Jabari Smith over 2.5 3-point makes. Again, had 3 out of the last 5 of last game. He's been getting the attempts here. No Sungan tonight, so he's going to see an increase in minutes. So give me Jabari Smith over 2.5 3-point makes.
There you go. Jabari Smith over 2.5, made threes. Houston Rockets, best bet for Wham. All right, Dutch, freshest look.
Yeah, man. Freshest look. Hey, we're going to NYC to get that W. We're going to cut that bitch in half. Knickerbockers, first half, -4. That's good money.
There you go. New York Knicks -4, freshest look for Dutch, first half against Charlotte. Best bet for me for this card, I'm going to end up going to the game between Brooklyn and Milwaukee, and I'm going to go over that 231 with the Nets and the Bucks. We're going to see points. I think you're going to see a lot from Milwaukee. Giannis, again, will do his thing. I was almost going to use Giannis over 32.5. That prop is my best bet, but I'm going to go with the over here, 231 with Brooklyn, Milwaukee. Most of the games have gotten into the 230s. One of them got into the 240s as well with these two. So I like it up and over the total. Brooklyn, Milwaukee, over 231, my best bet for this Wednesday card. That's a wrap. Thanks to everyone for joining us. The poker tournament, 9 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you get involved with that if you are so inclined. Again, great show. Thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us. Hit the like button on the way out. Make sure you're back here tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, for another edition of the Pub Up. It'll be Dutch hosting along with Ski Profit and Durrell. Make sure you join them tomorrow on the Thursday edition of the NBA Pub Hub. For Dutch, for Wham, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Wednesday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. They'll see you Thursday. I'll see you Friday right here on the Pub Hub, NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. Salute to the real ones. Bo Jackson, Top Crocodile, Lucky Power, my guy. DC Sportsbook, saturated. Man, y'all stay fresh. Most importantly, like, subscribe, and share the motherfucking video. Stay fresh. Stay blessed. Let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.